All right, guys, welcome back to A.F.C. Curtis. I'm excited. I got another interview here, the first one in a little while, and this guy, man, I cannot wait to be talking with. He's got one of the best personalities, in my opinion, in the CPL here. It's Niko Giantsopoulos here. How's it going, Niko?
Yeah, not too bad. Best personalities. I'll take that.
Well, you got amazing not only reach from just playing in the CPL and your social media and stuff, but you have a YouTube channel, the Cam Profiles, right? That's you and Sergio Camargo, your former teammate there. Fantastic channel. Love the channel. I love your new podcast you just launched a couple months ago, the Last Line podcast there. Just breaking down things about goalkeeping that you never really hear about. You never. I'm gonna be honest with myself with you here. I don't really think about too much about what goes on in a goalkeeper's head. So what got you interested really in starting the Last Line podcast?
That was well. First of all, when I signed with York, we kind of spoke about different, how they were working with their social media team, how they really want to ramp up and kind of have new ideas and kind of unique ideas that other clubs in the world really weren't doing. So Owen, who's like the creative director here for content at York, reached out to me and said, "Hey, would I be interested in a podcast?" Like you said, I'm kind of interested in the media space. I dabble in a couple of things here and there. So podcast was something I was interested in. I listened to a couple of podcasts myself. And then we kind of went back and forth what we wanted to do. He thought with his past experiences, whenever he spoke to goalkeepers, they always had good stories. They looked at the game in a completely different point of view, and kind of their lifestyle was a bit different, and they come from all kind of walks of life. So he thought it'd been a cool idea if we could interview high profile goalkeepers from really all over the world and kind of talk about their story. So as we continued on with our conversation, it was definitely a project I wanted to take on. And yeah, just, we're about 5 or 6 episodes in now, and it's been a blast. I'm kind of learning about the podcast space as well learning about all these amazing guests that we've had. So it's been a lot of fun.
I just feel like you're so like you just your personality alone, like I said, like you're just like made to do stuff like in podcasting and then YouTubing and stuff. But we're gonna switch here to kind of before we get too deep into this interview here, I do want to let people know that this interview I kind of wanted to take a little bit different side of things here. We're not going to talk too much about football in general and your football career, kind of more personality, kind of just to get you, Niko. We already know Niko the goalkeeper for York United, formerly of Cavalry A.F.C. But before we get to that space, really, what's your favorite memory you have in the football or in soccer in general, just growing up?
Yeah, growing up was probably our youth. So my youth club, I played for Ajax FC here in the GTA Durham region, and we ended up winning Ontario Cup, and then we won nationals that year, and then the following year we won nationals again. And some of those guys are still some of my best friends on that team. So probably those like winning national back to back and kind of being on that team is definitely the best memory. And now playing in the CPL, it's funny because back in the youth days, we like now played against different guys that are now playing in this league. So if the conversation ever does come up, like, oh, what team did you play for? You could always say, yeah, I played for Ajax. And, if they played for Dixie or Unionville or whatever, I could say, yeah, like, remember when we beat you guys in the Ontario Cup and, we won nationals and stuff like that. So it's something I could hold over a bunch of guys' heads.
It's such a small world in general, but it's such a small, even smaller, like Canadian soccer world. You know what I mean? Like it's just like it's literally so small. Like my massage therapist, like I'm in Winnipeg. I'm from Winnipeg. I live in Winnipeg. Operate out of Winnipeg. My massage therapist, whatever, knows like Bustos and Sacramento and stuff. I'm just like, really? It's like, yeah, I played soccer with those guys. But I think that's like one of my favorite parts about Canadian soccer, industry, if you will, is that everyone's so local. You feel like you got that extra level of intimacy with your club and with the players in the league versus like I'm a Liverpool Football Club supporter, so I like them, but I don't have that same level of intimacy with that club as I do with Valor FC, my local club. You know what I mean?
Of
So I
course,
think
of course.
that's really special with this league, and like you said too, like having that history with those players, even going back to youth there, it's incredible. What's the most talented, or who's the most talented player you've ever played with?
Yeah, it's a good question. I played with a lot of good players, especially in that 2019 team at Calgary. We had a lot of really good players. Obviously, one of my good friends, Sergio, I think he's one of the most talented players in this league, and that I've definitely played with. And then you had imports like Dominic Malonga, who has had a very impressive career. And then back in my time in Australia, I played with a younger guy. His name was Mitch Oxborough. He played in the A League out there, and then he just kind of came down to the second division. I was playing for my club there, and he was kind of our missing piece, and you could really tell the quality he had on the ball. And he was younger than me. But just he played so much older than he was. So I would say those are kind of the three top players that stick with me.
So you mentioned your time in Australia. In doing research for this interview, I found a clip on YouTube. I think it was on YouTube. It was a penalty kick somebody had against you there, and you ran up and you booted the ball. What was going through your mind when you did that? Because you got a yellow for that, and I was just like, what? But it worked. It worked. You didn't score on you.
The yellow was worth it. Yeah. I've been asked this question probably a million times. What was I thinking? I wasn't thinking. That's kind of the good part about being a goalkeeper. You don't really think too much. You kind of go off instinct. The story really behind it is I watched a video on YouTube and like leading up to that game, and I just saw a clip. So I'm like, oh, you know what? If it ever opportunity comes, I'm gonna do it. Lo and behold, the next game, penalty shot. Figured why not? Booted it. Again, had potential to go completely wrong, and they could have scored. And I'm sure the video still would have gone viral, but it would have been, for me being kind of an idiot, for lack of a better word. But it worked out. I saved this, so now I'm like some football penalty guru, known around the world. So it worked out, and now I'll probably never do it again because chances are the next one will go in.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, one and done. One and done.
One and done.
Before we switch gears here, last question about kind of like the soccer type of things here is, what stadium have you not played in yet that you so badly would love to play in before your career?
BMO Field. I know there's all these amazing stadiums all over the world, whether in Europe and stuff like that. But I mean, the first professional soccer game I probably went to was at BMO Field watching Toronto FC. That was obviously before the CPL came around. That was my hometown team, being from the area. So I kind of grew up going there, watching all the TFC games when the team first came. So it's always been a goal of mine to kind of play at that stadium, and hopefully it happens soon. But yeah, that's the stadium I want to play at, especially now that it's grass. It just looks, and they keep adding more stuff to the grandstands and all that, so it's becoming a top stadium, definitely in the MLS. So BMO Field.
Well, I think if you beat Masters FA in the Canadian Championship, I think the next round you play TFC, right?
Yeah, that's the rumor. So
yeah,
didn't want to jinx it, but if we do win that, I think we will play at BMO Field. So
no, I'll knock on wood. There you go.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
If you weren't a soccer player, what other career do you think you would be doing?
Well, I think I would give like sports a try if I wasn't a soccer player. So either a professional hockey player, obviously being Canadian, that kind of goes hand in hand. Maybe like a professional poker player. That is definitely something I like doing on the side still. I actually think I'm pretty good at it just pretty good at it. So I definitely would have given that a shot. If both of those failed, I would love to be a police officer or something in the media space, whether that's a sports analyst, maybe like a host for like a sports center, kind of like Jay and Dan at Sports Center. If I could take one of their jobs, that would be ideal.
When you play poker, do you wear glasses? Do you wear the glasses?
Not.
You don't?
I don't.
I feel then you're not a serious poker player. I feel only from what I've seen on like YouTube and on TSN and stuff, whenever they play poker, the guys, I'm like, this guy's gonna win right here just by looking at them. It's like
that's because they're trying to hide something. But if you're so good, then you don't need sunglasses.
I guess that's true.
I'll stick with that.
I guess that's true. No tells, I guess. But yeah, by the way, for some reason, when I was doing the questions and I thought what alternative career he could have, for some reason, the first thing in my mind was police officer.
Really?
Yeah.
It's because I had a mustache back in 2019 when we played Ballard.
Maybe. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just feel like you just could wear the uniform. You could be a police officer.
Yeah, no, it's crazy because probably I mean, before I said I wanted to be a professional soccer player, even when I was younger, I said I wanted to be a police officer. So that's, and I still kind of want to do it. Still kind of stuck with me. So yeah, for me, it's an ideal job. Keeps me fit, always in the action.
Mhm.
Similar to goalkeeping.
True, true. If you weren't, or sorry, what other things like to do outside of soccer? Obviously, like poker, like hockey.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty laid back to be honest. When I'm not training and back, I like to hang out with my dog. Just kind of go for walks, see different kind of parks, lakes that are around the area. Low key, drink coffee, chill, hang out with my friends. Especially in the summertime. If I could be outside, because in Canada we only get about 3 months of good weather. So I just want to be outside as much as I can. So walking my dog, hanging out by a park or something like that. Those are kind of really where you will find me when I'm not training.
Unless you're in Winnipeg. In Winnipeg, you get like a month and a half if you're lucky
Yeah, yeah,
of nice
exactly.
weather. What kind of coffee do you like to drink?
I mean, we got an espresso here that I've just been busting out here. I'm
Oh,
switching
okay.
to espressos, those little mini shots, stuff like that. So I dabble with a little bit. I wouldn't say I have like my go-to spot. I kind of just like to try it all out and see what sticks. I feel like I'm gonna get roasted in the comments now by people who are actual like coffee connoisseurs. But I'm not claiming to be that. I just like to drink coffee when I'm just chilling.
Well, I just asked because, and if you have one, to plug it here because when I had Maury Donor on last time a few months ago, he just signed for Halifax, I think it was, and I asked him like, "What's your favorite, kind of like coffee?" Because he's a big coffee drinker and going to coffee shops. And he said cappuccino. I think he said cappuccino. So
Mhm.
I've been trying to get a fan to go out and give him a free cappuccino before or after
There
a
we
game,
go.
essentially. And I don't even know if it's worked yet. I should ask him that. But if you want, you can just plug it here before the end of the show, and maybe
Well, hey,
someone
my
will give you
my
one.
coffee order is just a black coffee. If you don't like the brew that they have, then just an americano. I'll go with that. So yeah,
There
if
you
you could
go.
get a fan to get me a coffee, I would love that.
There you go. Someone in the New York region wants to hit up Niko, give him his coffee before or after the game there, feel free. No pressure
Please.
though. No pressure, okay? I've seen you do the toothpick magic trick before. I think it was like a little while ago. You're at an airport or something. There's a video of you doing the toothpick thing. Can you do any other magic trick?
Not. That is my one. It has never failed. It is always impressed. So until I do it and people aren't impressed, then I'll learn a new one. But for right now, that is my go-to. It is. I've had it in my back pocket for about 5 years now. I learned it while I was in Australia, so
Nice.
um, it's my go-to.
Well, you impressed me. You impressed. You don't
Hey,
even know.
well, it impresses girls. So any single guys out there, if they want to use it at a bar, I would just, you go to dinner first, grab a toothpick, then you go to the bar afterwards, and boop boop, pop it back, nice and easy.
And then
Easy
seal.
breaks the ice.
There you go. You don't even know like card tricks or anything?
No, I'm a
No.
poker
Oh,
player.
I
If I
guess.
start learning how to like deal all funky, and then it would be too tempting to use that at a table, then I could get myself in some big trouble.
It's true. True. Well, how would your friends describe you?
Whew. Can we ask one of my friends? He's sitting on the couch right now.
Sure.
How, Zach, how would you describe me as a friend? I'll just repeat if you can't hear what
Okay.
he says. Quick.
Um, Good man, loyal man,
Good man, loyal man,
great banter,
great banter,
good person to be around.
good person to be around. That's how my friends would probably describe me if I was to ask them.
Okay, perfect. So we can add to your Tinder bio then toothpick tricks and then those two things, okay?
Yeah, my old Tinder bio that now does not exist.
So what's your favorite show right now that you're watching?
Ooh, I'm actually watching that. I'm probably late to the party. That Formula One and Drive to Survive Netflix documentary.
Okay,
Got into that actually just on our last road trip to Halifax. So kind of trying to roll through that so I could keep up conversation. Sergio actually watched it maybe a year ago, and he tried getting me. I'm like, no, I'm not really into it. And now he's like watching Formula One. He thinks he's like a Formula One fan. So I'm gonna watch it. Maybe I get into it, so then we could, wake up early mornings and watch the Formula One together.
nice, nice. Yeah, I've seen it on Netflix, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna watch it.
I don't know.
But I've had
It's
one or two
it's
people tell me.
it's not bad, like especially because like in the sport, there's so much money into it. So you mix money, dangerous racing, and then the politics and all the drama kind of come with that. So it makes for a good TV show.
I feel like it's a big European thing too. Like
Huge.
in Europe, it's huge. I feel like it's not so much here. In the I used to live in the U.S. in like the mid-Atlantic part of the U.S. there, and like the NASCAR was huge. I remember that.
Of course, yeah.
And then I was like, then I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know about racing. Have you ever? I've always wanted to ask this of a football player, but have you ever watched the show Ted Lasso?
That's probably the other show I'm watching right now. Actually, my roommates, we're going to watch that tonight because we weren't able to watch, because season 2 obviously came out recently. We watched the first 2 episodes and now they just released episode 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're in the middle of that as well. Great show.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. You like it?
I love that show. It's honestly my favorite show right now. I've watched it. I'm up to date. I steal my dad's Apple account just to watch it. I'm against Apple up until the day I've seen the Ted Lasso. And I'm like, so I watched it. And like the season 1 was fantastic, and then season 2, like right off the bat, like that opening, like the scenes. I don't want to ruin it, but like in the press conference. Yeah, and then after the press conference, and then he says what he says. It's just like man, it's like Ted Lasso just hits you right off the bat in season 2. It's like this is what Ted Lasso is about, you know?
You like wish he was a real guy.
Yeah, honestly, that's my Halloween costume this year. I don't know if people can see, but I'm gonna start to grow like a mustache like this week. It's gonna take a little bit of time. It's gonna take the 90 days.
Well,
but
perfect. Halloween.
Yeah, just in time. Hopefully, it's gonna be thick enough by then. If not, then I'm gonna look like, I don't know, 20-year-old Ted Lasso or something. But based on that show, though, how realistic is that show to what it's like being as a professional footballer?
Not realistic.
Not realistic at all?
No, I wouldn't say it's that realistic. I mean, obviously there's like the pressure that they kind of portray and like the team atmosphere, and it's very dramatized and very Americanized, I would say.
Yeah.
So the principles are kind of similar, you know, battling for relegation like in season 1, and maybe the teammates weren't getting along, so that, you know, sometimes that does happen in a locker room. But as for, you know, everything else, it's very much traumatized.
Yeah, no, I was like thinking, I was like, man, I wonder how this, like, I've never been a pro footballer, honestly. So I was like, man, I wonder like how accurate this thing is. And now I remember watching like this season, like I think it was in episode 2, Roy Kent, sorry, was on Soccer Saturday or whatever. I'm like, they on Sky Sports, whatever. I'm like, they wouldn't call it Soccer Saturday. That's not right. And then even I was watching my dad. My dad does not follow soccer or anything, but he likes the show. And he was watching, and like literally we're watching the first episode, and the dogs on the sidelines like, this wouldn't even happen.
Never,
like,
never.
Come on, they wouldn't let anything near that. Maybe in the US or whatever to make it more Americanized with like a mascot or whatever, but not in Europe, not a chance.
No, definitely not. And like Keely in his season 1's like coming in the dressing room, like in the middle of the coach talk, like that would never happen.
And Jamie's just like doing Jamie things in season 1 or whatever, and that wouldn't happen.
I mean, who knows? Maybe in like the Prem, there's some superstars that kind of act like Jamie to a certain extent, but there ain't no Jamie Tarts in the CPL, I don't think.
You don't think so? No, even that you haven't come across one yet, is what you're saying.
No, yeah, not yet. You wouldn't be in the
CPL. So what's your favorite artist or group that you listen to right
now? Probably Drake. I mean, yeah, I'm back home now, so gotta stick with the hometown guy.
Do you like older Drake stuff though, or do you like newer Drake stuff? Because he's changed in the last couple of years.
He's changed. So I like the old stuff. I like the new stuff. Drake just doesn't miss everything he puts out.
You don't think so? Well, this is where I'm opposite with you though, because I think that old stuff is good, but the newer pop stuff, I know why he did. I also, in another life, I did recently work in the radio industry in a top 40 station, so I understand why he's doing more poppy music and stuff, because it does chart and it does make money and sponsorships and all that. It makes sense. Like, he's not dumb. He's probably one of the best businessmen out there, if you think about it. But no, I'm not a huge fan of his newer stuff. The older stuff is way better though. Anybody else?
What are you into then?
What am I into? I'm actually big on. Have you ever heard the band Kalia? No. They've had this song like Way Down We Go. I'm sure you've heard that song. It was like in like the Logan trailer from a couple. Oh, you want me to sing it? No, I'm not gonna sing. I'm not gonna sing. I'm also gonna get kicked off YouTube if I sing it. Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's my excuse.
Deal.
But no, they're really good. That's the band that I listen to a lot, especially recently. Easily my favorite band. I do like from time to time Nickelback. I know I'm gonna get some heat for that.
No, they're good. They're good, and they're Canadian again.
Yeah. Well, now you're gonna get heat for that just for saying that because for some reason a lot of people don't like Nickelback. I don't know why.
That's just like a thing that people just stick in, and they don't know why either. Like, if someone can justify why it sucks or why they suck,
Yeah.
please, but no one can ever.
Write it in the comments if you can justify it. Write it in the
There you
comments
go.
of this video right now.
Please. Anyone else? I like Jack Johnson. It's kind of like a different vibe. Then it's more
Okay,
like
yeah.
calm, chill. I actually met him while I was in Australia, which was kind of cool, and that made me more of a Jack Johnson fan. So
Nice.
Drake and then Jack Johnson, two different vibes there.
Very two different vibes. Like one's
Very.
like you're gonna get ready to go fight somebody, and the other one's just like, yeah, just relaxing
Chilling
down
on
by
a
the
beach.
beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Jack
two-
Johnson. That one fits your vibe though. I feel because you
Yeah.
seem pretty laid back.
Yeah, definitely. I try to be laid back, but again, I need the Drake to kind of pump up because you can't really be laid back in the middle of a game, especially as a keeper. You gotta be revved
You're
up.
just you're just too laid back, so you need that pump, you know.
I need something.
What song would you sing then if we did a karaoke night?
Yeah, so it wouldn't be by either of those artists. So I did, obviously, I'm new to York this year, so I had to do like my initiation song. A Star is Born, Shallow was the one I sang. Both I did the Bradley Cooper part and the Lady Gaga part, and I killed it. So that will forever now be my go-to karaoke song, and everyone loves it. It's a good tune. You get some claps, maybe some lighters in the background of the bar. So that would be my go-to karaoke song.
Well, I'm looking for. So next time you're in town, then in Winnipeg, here, and I invite you to A.F.C. karaoke night, that's the song you're gonna open with.
If you have a karaoke night, I'll definitely come and I'll bring some of the boys as well.
So there you go. And anything else? Or just Shallow?
I mean, back in Australia when I had to do an initiation song, I actually did Wonderwall by Oasis. So those are kind of my go-tos. I'm sure I've done a couple other ones. I've ended up at a karaoke bar once or twice in my time, so I'm trying to think of other songs I might have done. But those are my go-tos if I'm put on the spot.
So do you collect anything besides wins, obviously?
I try to do those as much as possible. No, not really collecting. I mean, some might say tattoos, if that counts. I have somewhat of a collection here. But as for physical items, I don't.
Don't collect anything other than
No.
tattoos.
I'm like looking at my apartment. All I see is like bananas behind me. No, I'm trying to like now think of something and make something up, but no, I don't collect anything really.
Do you ever keep a hold of any like sports memorabilia that you've ever accumulated throughout your career, or do you just
Always,
like give that stuff away?
The jerseys from every club, obviously, I've kept those. I still have like my boots from that national win that we have. They're like an old pair of Copas, so I still have those like back in my parents' house. I kept those. But no, the main thing was always jerseys and like the training kits. Like always like the training kit shorts, obviously, if they're different from game shorts. I would say I collect those, to be honest, because they're like my go-to like pajama pants or pajama shorts when we're traveling. So I played on a few clubs now, so I have a fair collection of shorts.
Yeah, no, that soccer shorts are fantastic for bedtime pajamas. I have like 3-year crane kits or whatever, like full kits, and I wear the shorts or whatever. I don't never wear them anywhere else. There's no point.
No,
I'm not a player.
exactly.
So
Slide right on.
exactly, fantastic. What's your go-to snack?
I'm not just saying this just because I'm trying to make sure my coaches are like proud of me or whatever, but like if I'm hungry and like I don't want to make a food, I'll just like we got like a magic bullet here, so I'll just whip up like a protein shake. So banana, this is my go-to. I'll tell you how you make my protein shakes or my shakes I do. So water, protein powder, a banana, frozen banana preferably because it's just nice and cold. Couple like blueberries, peanut butter. I'm just looking to see what else I got, and that's it. If I'm like extra hungry, I'll put like some oats in there to kind of really dense it up and add some calories. But yeah, I'll do that. I had one about 15 minutes before I got on this interview, so that's my go-to snack.
That sounds like a pretty good snack, though.
Yeah, it's no mess, just blend it there, wash that, drink it out of that. I don't even mess a cup. It's quick, efficient. That's how I like to live my life.
Nice, nice. And you got points from the coaches too, because the coaches are like, yay,
Yeah,
it's not
what a
eating
guy.
Cheetos.
No, I'm sure Jimmy's watching A.F.C. Curtis all the time. I'm sure he subscribes.
100%. All the coaches watch A.F.C. Curtis. They're all subscribed. Every
Perfect
time I
way.
get players on, they're so nervous, just like, oh my god, I can't. Gotta watch what I say.
Makes sense.
I try and get on the crack, but this never happens. What's the best place you've ever visited?
Byron Bay, Australia.
Okay.
It's like, it was about like what, 5 hours north of Newcastle where I was playing. It's like this beach surfer town. Just tons of people in and out. Basically, just traveler tours always coming in. So there's like a beach. There's like a couple bars, couple like cafes. Very small. There's really like no locals that live there. Just new people coming in and out. It was a wicked place. I actually went there for a players trip, so I spent 4 days there. We got like little villas on the beach. It was unbelievable. Could not live there, obviously, but to visit, unbelievable ocean, crystal clear. Some like unreal surfers. So like you could just like chill on the beach and just watch these guys shred the waves. So great place to visit. Good night out, good cafes, good food, good people. Can't complain. Good weather.
Sounds relaxing. Oh man,
Sounds unbelievable.
I gotta go to Australia. Before I let you go here, thank you by the way for coming on. I really appreciate it. My final question for you is, what's your proudest accomplishment?
Whew. Yeah, I'd probably say signing the CPL. It was a goal when I was, because I went to school in the States for 4 years, and then I was in Australia for 3 years. So that was really 7 years away from, friends and family, specifically family, and they weren't really able to watch my games as much as they would. Obviously, you watch the streams and stuff like that, but it was a lot difficult. So it was kind of a goal I set out to come back to Canada when the CPL obviously was announced. So once I was able to sign that, it was just like something I felt like I set a goal. It worked out, and they were able to come to my games and see me play professionally in person for the first time. So I think it's my biggest accomplishment because it included like everyone, family, friends. So all the hard work I put in, for all those years that I was away, and then they could see that, not the final product, but me doing what I'd like to do. That was a proud moment for me.
Oh, fair enough. No, that'd be a great accomplishment. Honestly, I feel like a lot of people just think, oh, trophies or this big certain win or whatever. But yeah, that's a very good accomplishment that I think a lot of people maybe don't think too much about, but it is important.
Because before this league, we had to go away.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing here unless you signed. You were lucky enough to sign for one of the local MLS clubs. So it just provides such a great opportunity.
It really does. It really does. Niko, I want to thank you so much for joining me here today for this interview. Guys, stick around to my channel later this week. I'll be dropping a special video that we're going to record in just a moment here with Niko. Fact or fiction game. Stick around for that later this week. But Niko, thank you so much. Do you want to plug your social medias before we go?
I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter, Nicolaos Giants. You can also go to the link in my bio. You can pick up one of these cool shirts. It's got my face on it. White Whale Marketing. You can get on the website, but that's everything. See you on the pitch.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Niko, for joining. Remember, guys, stick around for later this week for that video drop. Other than that, make sure if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, shows me like content like this. And of course, make sure you hit that red subscribe button and that bell notification button. Let's light that up, folks, and get notified each and every week when I drop a brand new episode just like this one. And I'll see you guys on the flip side.